Hey, what's up, everyone? So, I finally got Black Panther on DVD. I'm gonna do my review of that like later today. Um, but for my first list video, because remember I said in my update video that I was gonna start doing them. I decided to do my top 10 favorite MCU movies. With Black Panther, 10 years of the MCU with Infinity War coming out the end of last month. So I wanted to do that. And I was specifically holding off on that until I got Black Panther and watched it. So, and there's no order to how I've chosen the favorites or why they're my favorites. The only order they are in is release order. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, release order. Okay. So, um, I'm just gonna get right into it. Like I said, no favoritism here. Only order is release order. So, let's start off the video with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I love this movie because um, it it's almost one big conspiracy theory, and I love conspiracy theories. This this movie is kind of like the whole Big Brother thing. Like, who do you trust? Who can't you trust? Who's watching your every move? Um, and I love the whole Hydra has infiltrated Shield thing. And again, who do you trust? Who can't you trust? I love that. So that's why that is one of my favorite MCU movies. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, I love this movie. It is funny. It is so funny. Like, I laugh every time I watch this movie. You can't help but laugh every time you watch this movie. And th- this is something Marvel is good at, bringing, uh, like, kind of not entirely obscure, but not very well known superheroes or superhero teams to the big screen and making them a household name. You know, when I heard about this movie and saw this movie, I was like, "Who the heck are the Guardians of the Galaxy?" I've never heard of them, but this movie is beautiful. I love it so much. It is amazing. I love Chris Pratt. I love pretty much anything Chris Pratt does. Uh, so if you haven't watched this movie, what are you doing with your life? Go watch this movie. Next up, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Now, this one is great because it's funny. There's bits of comedy, and I think it's pretty good. Um, I love James Spader voicing Ultron because it gives Ultron this just very creepy feeling that I love. And this movie also confirms why the human race should not have artificial intelligence, because let's be honest, with each day technology just gets better and better until there will be a point in time this is going to happen. Let's just be honest with that right now. It will most likely happen sometime in the future. But it's just It's such a good movie. Highly recommend. Next up, Ant-Man. Um, Again, not entirely well-known superhero Marvel brought to the big screen. Um, in my opinion, I don't really know how many people know about Ant-Man, but I didn't know a whole lot about Ant-Man. I know he could shrink. That's about it. And like control ants. But this movie is great. It's funny. Uh, Paul Rudd is was a genius casting decision for this movie. He's funny. Um, he, like Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy, was in Parks and Rec. I forget who he played in Parks and Rec. I forget already, but yeah, it was a great movie. I love the special effects, the way they balance the in the fight scenes, the way they balance the growing and the shrinking. That's beautiful. It's perfect. I thought the villain, Yellow Jacket, he was pretty good. I liked him. I thought he looked cool. So yeah, go watch. Next, we have a really good one. Captain America Civil War. This movie is so good. I remember when I was in school a couple years ago, and this movie was coming out, or had come out, it was in the process, I don't remember which one. But just like for 2 weeks, it was just all Team Cap, Team Iron Man, among my friends. I'm Team Cap, by the way, as most of them kind of were. But it's very loosely, and I mean very loosely, based off of the Marvel Comics Civil War event, which is also, it's a good read. Go read it. But yeah, this movie is so good. It introduces us to Black Panther, and yeah, I don't really have any issues with this movie. Pretty good. Go watch. Okay, and then next up, we have another really good movie of 2016, Doctor Strange. Now, again, I didn't really know who Doctor Strange was going into it. I knew he was a doctor who was kind of an arrogant jerk and could care less about anyone except himself. And then, he got into a car accident, lost the use of his fingers, hands, and then became Doctor Strange. There's more of it, but, I'm not going to tell the entire story of Doctor Strange. But this is the most mind-bending movie I've ever seen, except for maybe Inception. This movie is so good. The special effects are just plain amazing. Like, I was honestly, like, almost crying because it was such a beautiful movie, special effects wise. I loved Benedict Cumberbatch. He was an amazing choice for this movie. Um, yeah, he's just a really good actor. The villain of the movie is Caecilius. I think I said that right. I can never remember how you say that. I think it's Caecilius, though. Who is a servant of Dormammu. I'll be honest, I was kind of disappointed with Dormammu in the movie because In the comics, Dormammu is just a lot awesomer looking. Like he's got like fire and stuff. He just looks better. I wish we had gotten that. Um, and then generally, or traditionally, I meant, sorry, in the comics, the ancient one who is like Doctor Strange's master of sorts is a man. In this movie, they switched that up and they made them a woman, played by Tilda Swinton. So it's really good. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend you go watch this movie. Just if you've seen Inception, this is like Marvel meets Inception. It's really good. Next up, Spider-Man: Homecoming. This movie was so good. They have finally gotten Spider-Man right. Tom Holland as Spider-Man is perfect. Um, Michael Keaton as the Vulture, perfect. I've noticed a recurring theme where Michael Keaton plays flying based people. He's been Batman twice. He was Birdman in 2014. I didn't see that movie. And 2017, he was Vulture. So, uh, but yeah, Spider Man finally came back home to the MCU thanks to a deal with Marvel and Sony. Spider Man's finally back. I'm so glad because Sony's track record with Spider Man has not been that great in the past, but they fixed it. With this one, they fixed it. Um, it's so good. I don't have any issues. That's why I'm kind of looking for words, because I don't have any issues with this movie. You know, it's so good. So I'm just gonna put it down, and move on to the next one, which is Thor Ragnarok. Um, they finally got the Thor movies right. Um, the first two were not that good. This one was. It fixed Thor. um, it has a very kind of Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it, and like the colors and just kind of the visuals. I'm pretty sure this movie is based off of the Walt Simonson run of the Thor comics. I'm pretty sure that's what I read or heard. Um, and it also there's a part in it where it's kind of reminiscent of the Planet Hulk storyline, where Hulk gets um, lost on a planet and becomes their champion. Where it's very loosely based off of that in part of this film. Um, I like Thor better with his haircut. I don't like that long hair. I don't have issues with long hair. I just think Thor looks better with his cut hair. Um, the director of this one is Taika Waititi. Um, he put himself in the movie. He was Korg, which I thought was beautiful. So, yeah, the overall very fun movie. Just go watch it. Next is Black Panther. So I got this when it came out Tuesday, and I liked it. I know people were happy, you know, a solo movie of um, a black superhero. It has a primarily all entirely black cast. Um, it's a really good movie. Um, Although there were people who were mad and calling the movie too black, which I think those people just need to crawl back in their cave and let life move on. Stop having issues. But I'm not getting into that because I could, but I'm not. But it says on the back here one of the best superhero movies of the century and an action packed adventure. I agree with an action packed adventure. It was that. Um, One of the best superhero movies of the century. I don't know. Oh, a century is 100 years, but I don't know about that one. That one I'm gonna have to disagree with a little bit. But it was a pretty cool movie. Yeah, I missed out on it in theaters because I was very busy with work, and so yeah, I am overall happy with this movie. Go watch. Now, for number 10, I don't have it, obviously, because it is not out on DVD yet, but I've seen it and it's official, and I'm including it in this list. Number 10 is Avengers Infinity War. That movie is so good. It is just so good. Um, you know, it's sad. It's action packed. Um, you have like all kinds of different storylines just kind of all over the place. And it's so good. I I'm not gonna get too into it because I already did a very in-depth review of the movie, so go check that out if you haven't. Um, I will leave the link to it in the description if you want to check that out. So yeah, that is those are my top 10 favorite MCU movies. Um, and this is just the first 10 years of the MCU, so I'm sure this video will have many parts because there's more coming out. In July we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which looks so good. Um, Next year we have Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. I think that's it for next year. I'm not entirely sure. That's all I know of anyway. Later this year we have Venom in October. That's not part of the MCU. I don't think that's still kind of being thrown around if it is or isn't, because something that's being thrown around is if Tom Holland will make an appearance in that movie. Um, what I think would be cool for that movie is they don't need to tie it directly to the MCU and like have Tom Holland as Spider-Man directly into it, but like if they had Tom Holland just kind of be in the film, like even as Peter Parker himself, not Spider-Man, Peter Parker, just kind of be in the film. That would be a cool nod and not entirely directly tied to the MCU. But that's what we got for this year, and as far as I know, Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 for next year. So I am going to, I don't know. Yeah. I am going to take a break because I've got well, four more videos to film. Um, I I'll probably film a couple more today, and then maybe one tomorrow. I don't really know, so just keep the notifications on, and then whenever I do, you can get the notification, you can watch it, and whatever. So I'm gonna go, guys. I will see you later.